Hi everyone, welcome to Rachel Pichler Yoga. If we haven't met before, my name is Rachel. Today we're doing a lower body focused yoga for flexibility practice. I'm not going to use any specific props today. You're just going to need a little bit of space to move. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do. And let's get started. So let's begin today in child's pose. So you can come onto your knees and bring them out nice and wide. Let your big toes come together, and you can start by sitting back on the heels if you'd like, and just start to lower your chest down. And if your forehead does not like to touch the floor, you can grab something to be a pillow, but just push into the palms a little bit, bringing some length into your arms and sending the hips back towards the heels. Maybe you can start to feel the love through the hips, and then let the chest get a little heavier. Let your forehead come all the way down. And just start to relax through the shoulders. And maybe you can take a nice big breath in and actually feel your stomach expanding, filling up with air. And a nice slow exhale. And again, inhale, feel your tummy expanding. And exhale nice and slow. Nice, you guys. One more big breath in here. And big breath out. Awesome, you guys. And we're just going to stay for a few more moments, and you can breathe in any way that feels good. Just let your chest get a little heavier. Maybe gently encourage your hips back towards your heels a little more. And just take this time to slow down and settle in. Softening through the jaw. Softening through the forehead. And just feeling the breath coming into your body and coming back out. Awesome, you guys. We're going to stay here for just one more full breath in and out. And then using an inhale, slowly start to lift your chest. Maybe push into your palms as you start to lift your forehead, and send your hips back towards your heels a little more as you walk your hands all the way in. Nice, you guys. And you can bring those legs or those knees together and just start to transition into a nice comfy seat. But we're going to find butterfly. So you can bring the soles of your feet together and your knees out wide. I want to stick with the hips a little longer. So you might start here by bringing your hands to your knees. Take an inhale, lengthen through the spine. If you can't find that long spine, just slide your heels a little further away. Make that diamond shape nice and big. And you might even just stay here, sitting tall, long spine, or you might add a tip forwards if you want to get into those hips a little bit more. But just try not to pull yourself down by hanging onto your feet. Just kind of tip forwards as far as your body goes, all on its own, without a whole lot of effort. And just notice where you feel this. Just notice. And then take a breath. Notice if you still feel the same places. Is that stretch getting a little bit more intense? Or maybe you're settling in and it's feeling pretty good. Awesome, you guys. We're going to use an inhale just to lift the upper body back up if you did tip forwards. Find that nice long spine. Awesome. And you can take that right leg and just send it out long. Our left foot's gonna stick to the inner thigh. Take an inhale, lengthen the spine again. Maybe point your toes up towards the ceiling. Option to stay here or add a tip forwards. Maybe it's just a little bit. Maybe your chest is coming all the way down to your knee. Whatever feels good on the back of this front leg, this right leg. And you might just let your upper body go as far as it wants to go, all on its own. Or you might give it a little bit of encouragement. But let's be nice and gentle. Soften through the shoulders wherever you are, no matter if you're still sitting tall or if you're tipping forwards and your knees touching your chest. Awesome, you guys. Using an inhale, let's start to lift back up. Finding that nice long spine again. Relaxing through the shoulders. We're just going to be taking this left leg and sending it over top of the right. So if you're able to bring your left knee as close to the right knee as you can get it. So I like to rest the side of my foot on the floor instead of the bottom of my foot. Kind of encouraging those knees together. And I'm just going to keep my bottom leg straight for now. You could have bend it in if you know where you're going for cow face, but I'm going to stay here for a few moments. You can hang onto your knee, take an inhale, lengthen through the spine. You can even point your toes up towards the ceiling and you might stay here. You might feel that through the hip already, through the glute, or you might start to add a little tip forwards or a big tip forwards. You might feel everything through the bottom leg. You might get some top leg, one, both. Wherever you're tighter, you're going to feel this. So just notice. Notice how it feels. Notice if you're putting some effort into pulling your upper body down, and maybe you can just relax a little bit. And if you're loving this right now, you're going to stay here. If you feel like you want to get more into this top leg, that left glute and that left outer hip, you can bend that bottom leg in as well for full cow face. And if this is not available to you, just keep your bottom leg out nice and long, but trying to stack the knees on top of one another. Almost like you want to squeeze your inner thighs together as well. So you can stay sitting tall again. Or you can add a little tip forwards, a little tip, a big tip, whatever feels good on those legs. On those hips and glutes. Nice job, you guys. Using an inhale, we're going to start to lift back up. If you are folding forwards, long spine, sit tall. Awesome, you guys. And then you can start to unwind your legs, uncross them. Just give yourself a little hug, rock it out for a moment. We're going to be sending our right leg back out long, so maybe it is already there. And I just want you to lean over to the right side and kind of lay on that right hip. We're going to get into the left quad. So you can encourage your heel towards your glute. Feeling that left quad. You can stay here, or you can actually try to bring that left shin towards the floor. So if you felt the quad when you were laying on your right side, you're just going to stay there. If you're able to bring your shin to the floor, the heel's just kind of out on the outside of that left hip. Be mindful of how the knee likes this or doesn't like this. And if you've gone too far, just turn back over onto your right side. So you can stay here. You can lean back. You could lay all the way down on the floor. Find your forearms. Stay seated. We just want to feel that left quad. You might get the ankle stretch. You might get the hip stretch. If you're lucky, and you're going to feel a stretch where you're tighter first, probably. So go with it. play with it. Nice job, you guys. And if you did make your way all the way down onto your back, you're gonna have to lift all the way back up. Not staying in any poses too long today. So start to roll back over onto that right hip so that you can send your left leg out, and then come and just give yourself a little hug. Shake it out a little bit. Shake it out. Nice, you guys. And then let's start to switch. So the left leg can come out. The right foot can find the inner thigh. Take your inhale to lengthen the spine, sit tall. Start to point your toes up towards the ceiling, staying here or tipping forwards a little or a lot. Whatever feels good. Just finding your breath. Just noticing where you feel the sensations through this left leg. And if you happen to be tipping forwards, we're going to start to use an inhale to lift the upper body back up, sit tall. Take the right leg, start to cross it over top. If you did want to bend your bottom leg in right now, definitely do so. I'm going to keep mine out for a few breaths. Just grabbing onto that top knee, nice and light as you inhale, lengthen the spine. Stay here or start to tip forwards. And maybe remember to point your left toes up towards the ceiling. That'll deepen the stretch for the bottom leg. Awesome, you guys. If you are following with me, just use an inhale to lift the upper body, lengthening through the spine, bending that bottom leg in. Almost like you want to stack the knees, squeeze those inner thighs together just a little bit. Take an inhale to lengthen and an exhale, folding forwards if you'd like. Maybe just giving your toes a little wiggle, maybe even the fingers. Just feel the breath. Awesome, you guys. Using an inhale, start to lift your upper body up if you're folding forwards. And you can uncross the legs. Give yourself a little shake, a little hug. And then let's find that left quad. So coming onto that left hip, reaching back for that right heel. Stay here if it feels good. Or try to bring that shin down to the floor. You can just keep the left leg out long. You might just sit as well. You don't have to lean back. Being nice to the knee. If you've gone too far, turn back over onto your side. Notice if this side's a little tighter than the other side, a little looser. Nicely done, you guys. If you are laying down any amount, you can slowly start to lift your upper body back up. We'll just turn to that left side again so you can send your right leg out. Just giving yourself a little hug, shake it out a little bit. We're going to find a wide straddle next. I'm just going to turn on my mat here. And you can send both of your legs out nice and long. Getting into those inner legs. My goodness, feels pretty good today. You can start to point your toes up towards the ceiling. Put your fingertips on the floor for support so you can sit tall. This might be in front or behind you, whatever works best. Finding that long spine, spreading the feet out wide so you maybe can already feel the stretch through the inner legs. Point the toes towards the ceiling. Maybe you're going to stay here. Maybe you're going to tip forwards a little or a lot. But just relax, feel, and breathe. Nicely done, you guys. Using an inhale, lift the upper body. If you're tipping forwards, I could stay there a whole lot longer, but we're gonna move along. You can bring your hands to the outside of your knees. Encourage them back together. Give yourself a nice little hug, a little rock side to side, and then we're gonna find a cross-legged seat. So you can just sit cross-legged, or you can find half lotus. You can bring one foot on top of your thigh, and we're gonna add a little tip forwards in this. So if sitting cross-legged feels better than half lotus, you can stay there, or maybe full lotuses in your practice. But just take an inhale, lengthen the spine as always, and maybe just stay here, or maybe tip forwards a little bit, or lots. Cross-legged, lotus, half lotus. Nice, you guys. And then we're just going to use an inhale to lift back up, sit tall, and start to switch sides. So if you're sitting cross-legged, just cross your legs the other way. If you're in half lotus, bring your other foot up onto your thigh. Full lotus, switch up those legs. And then sit tall. Inhale. Stay here or tip forwards a little. One side might feel a whole lot different than the other side, because often we tend to sit with our legs crossed the same way without really thinking about it. Nice, you guys. And using an inhale to slowly lift back up, you can let the legs go. You can uncross them. You can keep them crossed. I'm going to find butterfly. Bring the soles of the feet together. Your hands can come to your knees. Take an inhale, sit tall. And exhale, relax those shoulders. Awesome job, you guys. You can bring your hands together in front of your hearts. I hope that you enjoyed our lower body practice today, and enjoy the rest of your day. Until next time, namaste.